You can't be a hero every night of the week, and sometimes you just need something that's not only easy to make, but easy to clean up too. So I'm going to give you 4 of my favorite one pot or tray dishes that you can be making for dinner tonight. One of Asia's most classic chicken and rice dishes, but is there a way that we can make it easier? This is my one pot version of Chinese Hainanese chicken and rice. Okay, so like a classic Hainanese chicken and rice is a joy forever, but it is like a bit of a palaver to make. So I wanted to come up with a version that you could do like on a weeknight, just with one pot, so you get the same kind of, you know, chicken and rice vibes. So I'm going to do mine today in a rice cooker, which I think is really fun. We're going to start off with the rice first of all, adding some chicken stock here, some spring onion, ginger. And then I like to add just a little dash of some finely chopped garlic here as well for some extra flavour. It's kind of optional. If you don't like a garlicky rice, you could leave it out. And now the chicken pieces. So I'm going in here with some legs and thighs. You know me. Drumsticks are going in. And then with my thigh pieces, I've got skin on but boneless because I want to be able to slice up my thighs at the end. But you know what? You could go all bone-in pieces. Please don't do chicken breast. I mean, no. You can do chicken breast if you want to, but I mean, there is always method to the madness here. And the thing is that with these secondary cuts, if you like, you've got a bit more fat, and that fat is kind of like the flavor that really enhances the rice. So that's the reason why I like to go with the thighs and legs here. Then let's close the lid, press start, and away you go. All right, so in the meantime, we're gonna make a spring onion sauce. It's very simple. I just want some spring onion, and you need quite a bit of spring onion here. So this is often something I'll make to use up, like a bunch of spring onion sitting in the bottom of my crisper or something like that. Bottom of my crisper is such an inspiration sometimes. Now, spring onion just goes into my mortar here. Just need a pinch of salt. And then just pound the spring onion so that it's kind of smushed and a little bit bruised. So I don't need like a smooth paste here, but I definitely want to break down like the firm fibers of that spring onion. All right, so this is the situation you're looking for, kind of a little smushed and bruised, exactly that. Now, what I need to do here is heat up some oil and then also some sesame oil. Now when that oil's nice and hot, then you want to pour it over your spring onion, and the oil kind of cooks the spring onion and forms the sauce, and there's a nice little sizzle involved. And there you go. Now mine's just a straight out spring onion version today. You can add ginger, you could add garlic if you wanted to, so lots of different options there. So I'm going to pop some of that spring onion sauce onto my serving plate. I've got some sambal oelek here as well. I like to have the extra little bit of chili with the spring onion sauce. Now let's check out what's happening in here. Ooh, nice. It smells really good. I love that smell. Oh, it's so comforting. Chicken, rice, so good. All right, so I'm going to take the chicken out first so I can slice up the thigh piece a little bit later. And I like to do kind of like a molded rice situation. So pop my rice into a bowl and then tip that out onto your plate. Ah, the big reveal. Oh, I love it, so cute. Slice up my chicken. A little bit of cucumber, and there you go. So not the traditional Hainanese chicken rice, but certainly a lot easier. And yeah, let's get in here and try this guy. It certainly gives you the same comforting kind of chicken rice vibes. For me, I would be very, very happy. Rice has a lot of flavour. It's yum. Hey guys, we are doing another episode of Marion's Test Kitchen. This is where we test out cool techniques, gadgets, products, methods, so you don't have to. We're going to be doing a one-pot honey soy chicken and rice. And we have partnered with Panasonic for this episode, and we're gonna be using their 10-cup rice cooker. So this guy has a lot of things, so let's come have a look before we get started. Now, this has like 16 auto menus. You can choose regular rice, you can do brown rice, jasmine rice, you can do slow cooking, soups, all sorts of things. So the cool thing about rice cookers like this one is that there is a technology used here called fuzzy logic. Now, fuzzy logic is an actual thing because I Googled it. Let me just test this out. Okay. Hey Siri, what is fuzzy logic?
Here's some information.
Okay, so apparently fuzzy logic is, in logic, fuzzy logic is a form of many valued logic in which the truth value of variable matrix. That doesn't make things any clearer. Okay, so fuzzy logic, kind of a weird term, but it's an actual thing, and in this rice cooker, it means that the power is automatically adjusted so that you get more concise cooking. So as the jasmine rice cooks, as the brown rice cooks, as your soup or your stew or your clay pot rice cooks, then this rice cooker can sense when it needs to turn off or adjust the heat. You can have fuzzy logic washing machines, fuzzy logic fridges, I think. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe I'll Siri that one later. But all right, so I have chosen a really heavy kind of cast iron pot for this one. The kind of thicker the better for this on the stovetop. That way you're not going to get things burning, which is, you don't want that. All right, now we also want some chicken thigh. I really love chicken thigh in these kind of one pot dishes because they don't dry out as much as the chicken breast. And I'm just a legs and thighs girl. Now I want to get the chicken kind of marinating in a few flavors first of all. So I'm going to go in with some soy sauce. And then I want some dark soy sauce here as well. Actually, I'm using a dark sweet soy sauce. And this one is really great to give a nice shiny kind of color. I love that. Now a little pinch of white pepper here. And some sesame oil. And this is kind of like a marinating step if you like. I just want a little bit of flavor right on that chicken. Okay, so you can add any other number of things to this. I'm actually gonna add in some Chinese sausage because I love those kind of sweet pops of pork in there. But you could just use like a regular pork sausage if you wanted. If you had some Chinese barbecue pork, that'd be cool too. I'm gonna go in with some shiitake mushrooms. Now I have been soaking them in some hot water for a little bit, about 10 minutes or so. And I'm just removing the stem from there because the stems stay really hard and firm and chewy. They don't kind of soften up. So you just wanna take those out. Now I wanna keep these mushrooms nice and chunky, so I'm just gonna cut them in half. A few more extra flavorings here. I want some garlic, some ginger, give us a bit of a mix. And while we're doing all this, it's great because the chicken's kind of soaking up some of that soy flavor and color, which is great. Now this next ingredient is kind of a little trick of mine. So whenever I'm doing a Chinese style kind of one pot dish with rice and with this kind of soy sauce marinade, I like to add just a little bit of corn flour. That's cornstarch if you're in the US. And what that does is it kind of thickens up the sauce and the stock and everything we're going to put in there and gets it kind of shiny and glossy and all yum. Okay, so now let's talk about rice. I'm using Thai jasmine rice here and I've got 2 cups of rice. So now for some liquids. So I want some chicken stock. So 2 cups. 2 cups. Now for the extra half cup of liquid for each of these, you could just go in with another half cup of chicken stock, but I'm actually going to use some Chinese cooking wine for mine. It's a little bit of extra flavor. Now, because I want to give this like a honey soy kind of vibe, I'm going to go in with some honey here as well. All right, so all of our things are now in our pots. Just going to give it a bit of a stir. Okay, so slightly concerned about the size of my pot for our stovetop. I think this is too small, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. This guy is fine. There's plenty of room there. All right, we're gonna need a bigger thing. Okay, this will do. Okay, that's better. I mean, that other one. It's not gonna work. Okay, so this is what happens when you're testing things out. All right, so forget what I said earlier about that pot, and you need a bigger pot. Lid on. Let's get this guy turning on. I think we'll start off high, I think, with this because we want to get the liquid kind of boiling. This guy, we're just gonna pop him into our rice cooker. Now I'm gonna select the automatic clay pot mode for this because it's a similar kind of clay pot as like a traditional Chinese rice and chicken dish, similar to this. So we'll choose clay pot, press start, and then this guy's gonna take care of himself. Over here, I think I'm gonna give this like 10 minutes on high. I want that stock to really start boiling, but then I want to turn the heat down, make sure we don't get burnt rice on the bottom. 10 minutes. Coffee time.
Stop it boiling.
All right, so I thought it would take 10, but it's only taken 5. Thanks, Mum. Otherwise we have burnt rice. Okay, all right, so I'll just turn this off. Let's come and have a look in here. Yes, definitely boiling. Okay, so forget what I said earlier about 10 minutes. We want 5 minutes. Now, it is smelling good though. Now I want to turn this down to low. Yeah, see, I feel like this is already the disadvantage between using, you know, an automatic function and the stovetop because you just don't know the timing. So you've got to be keeping an eye on it, coming back and forth. Or you can just put your mum in charge of keeping an eye on it. Hey, Mum, can you just stand there and watch that pot for me? Not quite. Still a bit longer. It's a very good coffee because I made it and you didn't. You're a great Cameron Dax, but you make really bad coffee.
Shots fired.
Oh, wait, something's happening, look. Okay, so we didn't have, when I pressed start, there was no time here. Now I've got a 10-minute kind of countdown, which is pretty cool. It is better that you don't have to keep checking on that guy. It's like having kids, like just, you know, you wish you could just leave them be without having to chase after them.
You're a lovely mother, Marion.
Look, I love my kids, but they require a lot of attention, just like this guy. All right, so suspense is over. How fun. The cool thing here is that this has stopped cooking and it's gone straight automatically to this keep warm function. So that's really cool because it means I don't have to keep an eye on it. It's not gonna burn. It's just gonna sit there and keep warm, which is pretty fun. But should we have a look? Max, come in here. Let's have a look. Suspense is killing me. All right. Boop. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that looks great. Look at that. All right, let's get that out of there. Right. So that's looking pretty good. Let's see what's happening in here. That looks good too. So if we have a look side by side, we've got most things looking fairly similar here. I mean, the real test is going to be how the rice tastes. So let's get in here and have a look. I'll try this one first. Lovely, fluffy. Some grains are a little chewier than others, so slightly uneven, but good. Let's have a look at this one. Let's get in here with the rice. Definitely a more even cook here. The rice for this one is cooked a lot more, so it's softer and fluffier. I think it would really depend on what your preference for rice would be. I actually really quite like this much softer, fluffier, stickier kind of texture. Yeah, I mean, they're both really good, but I mean, I'd give it to the rice cooker just because I didn't have to check on it. It's cooked more evenly, and this one required a little bit more attention, just like my 3-year-old. Okay, let's get in here. Such a comforting dish. I love this one. One of the things I love about this kind of Asian rice dish is the kind of crispy bottom that you get. Now, I was worried that we wouldn't get that with the rice cooker because I thought it might be too smart to let things caramelize on the bottom. But look at that, look what we've got. It's a beautiful amount of caramelization, it's sticky. Woo, that is good stuff. So we want to get that out as well. Now serve up our pot version. Now, did we get some? We got a little bit of caramelization on the bottom. I probably could have maybe kept the heat a bit higher at the beginning to get a little bit more of that. Okay, just a little sprinkle there. I'm not really a rice cooker girl. I typically cook my rice on the stovetop, but if I was gonna do this dish again, I would totally use the rice cooker because it was just so much easier. So yum. I was genuinely surprised. Like, I thought that this would turn out like mushy.
There's no way I thought it was going to be crust on the bottom.
Oh, there's no way I thought there'd be crust on the bottom. There is, it's great. Technology, gotta love it. Like, seriously. Check that rich, savory sauce, supercharged with so many beautiful spices. Here we go, my friends. We're making my one-pot Chinese soy sauce chicken. So the secret to this dish is all about layering the flavors, layering the spices, and all the beautiful little aromatics that we have. So first of all, we're gonna get going in our pot, and I want a little bit of oil in here. So traditionally this dish would be made in a clay pot, but I wanted to show you guys that you don't need all the fancy things to make this kind of dish. Just any kind of casserole pot is fine. But what I do think is essential is some chicken thighs. So particularly for this dish though, like braising chicken, you want a nice, juicy piece of chicken that's not gonna dry out. The other point here is that our chicken skin has a whole bunch of flavor in here. So we're gonna get it nice and golden brown, and that's gonna start that layering of the flavor process that I was kind of talking about earlier. There's always method to the madness. Now what you need to do here is just let that chicken do its thing, get nice and golden, so a couple of minutes. All right, so have a look at this chicken. We've got such a lovely, beautiful color on there now. Do you know what that is, Dax?
Brownie of the chicken.
Close. It's called the Maillard reaction. Maillard, yes. Or browning, just browning. But anyway, it's the chemical reaction that happens that gives you like the flavor, that browning, all of that stuff is like, that's our, what is that? I don't even know what that is. The browning stuff is the flavor basically. Anyway.
The Maillard reaction?
The Maillard reaction is in here, not here. So now that we've got the beautiful color, now we can go in with the aromatics. So I didn't want to put the aromatics in to start with because I wanted a hard sear on that chicken and I didn't want to burn my ginger and garlic. So that can go in now. So now for all the fun things. So soy sauce braised chicken, we're gonna go in with 2 types of soy sauce. First of all, just your regular run-of-the-mill soy sauce. This one is giving us the salty flavor. Now, second soy sauce is dark soy sauce, and even though it's darker, it actually is less salty than your regular soy sauce. This one is all for the color, that beautiful mahogany, deep dark color, and just a little bit of sweetness as well. Now some sugar, some freshly ground black pepper, and here's the beautiful spices bit. So I've got some star anise, cinnamon stick, and some cloves. And then we just want to top this up with some water, just enough to kind of almost submerge those chicken pieces. Wiggle those guys around in there, make sure they're kind of all getting some love. Now, a little bit of patience here. Just wait for this to come up to a gentle simmer and then just let it bubble away for about half an hour. Turn the chicken pieces over every now and then, and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so things are certainly looking super lush in here. I mean, look at that color. I love that. Oh, okay, a few more things here. I want to go in with some boiled eggs. And I've got some firm tofu here as well. Definitely go with the firm because soft tofu is going to break up in here. Now just kind of like gently mix that through. I don't want to break the egg or the tofu up, but I do want them to kind of submerge a little bit in that beautiful sauce. And now pop a lid on and just give that another like 5–10 minutes. It's really just for the egg and the tofu to kind of take on a little bit of color and flavor. Ah, oh, that smell. Oh, you just get all those warming spices and that beautiful, like, you know, like deep chickeny flavored broth kind of thing going on. Ah, so good. Okay, so what we need here is just a little bit of spring onion on the top. And we are ready to go. Okay, so the way I would be doing this at home is a big bowl of steamed rice. Definitely want like a beautiful piece of chicken here. Tofu, an egg, like all the bits. That sauce, I mean, oh, so good. Let's get in here and try. Oh, the smell of that chicken, so good. The thing that's so magic about that is that flavor is ridiculously intense. The spices, the soy, the chicken flavor, and all of that in like half an hour. So amazing. Oh, yum. I mean, if you're after like, you know, one of those chickeny, comforting, you know, kind of, you know, chicken soup kind of deals, this is the one. Sticky, sweet, and a little spicy roasted chicken and all your bits and pieces done in the one pan. This is my chili jam chicken tray bake. All right, so those of you who have been watching my channel for a while know that we have gone from a family of 3 recently to a family of 4, which is so delightful, but really not as delightful when it comes to dinner time and I don't have very much time and also don't want to do a lot of washing up. So here we are. Today we are doing a 1 tray chicken chili jam tray bake, and this one is super easy. You guys are gonna love it. All right, let's get going on the chicken marinade first of all. And the secret little ingredient here is a homemade chili jam. Now, I've made this on my channel, so you can check out how to make it for yourself. It's an awesome thing to have in the pantry. And here it is, nice and sticky and jammy and sweet and tangy. Now, if you don't happen to have my homemade chili jam in your pantry, that is totally okay. You can just use sweet chili sauce. Easy. And now I want some soy sauce. All right, want some brown sugar as well. And I know that the sweet chili sauce or the chili jam that you're using does have some sweetness, but a little bit of extra here will give us a bit of a caramelization kick in the oven, help with color and stickiness and all that good stuff. Now, just give that a mix. All right, so for the chicken, you guys know by now, I am a leg and thighs girl, so I'm going with that, but you choose whatever your family loves. What I do like to do here is make sure that we're getting as much flavor into the chicken as possible. And that means we wanna kind of slash through into the meat, through the skin, to get some of that marinade in there. And into the bowl with our sticky sauce. Now give all of that a mix. I like to do it with my hands. I can really get in there and make sure that all of that yummy sticky stuff is getting all in the nooks and crannies of that chicken. All right, so let's just leave that chicken for a minute and we'll get onto our rice. Now I'm using a Thai jasmine rice. Any long grain rice is good here. Basmati would be great as well. And that just goes straight into our oven dish. All right, so I want to flavor my rice up a little bit. So I'm going to use some garlic grate that straight in there. And then some chicken stock. And guys, just store-bought is fine. Don't be a hero on a weeknight, unless you've got some in the freezer, obviously. Now, just spread that rice out as evenly as you can in the bottom of the tray. Okay, so I also want some red onion here. And just some nice little wedges. So now we just need to layer up our tray bake. So we want the chicken in first. And now just nestle those little wedges of onion in there. And don't waste the rest of that marinade in the bowl. We want all the sticky goodness that we can get here. And just kind of spread that out over the chicken pieces. And now just a little drizzle of oil on each of those chicken pieces just to help with the browning. Now you want to cover this with some foil. And that just goes into the oven for 50 minutes. All right, so kitchen smelling amazing at this point. And let's just see how we're going. Okay, so this is looking perfect. You can see the rice has just started to soak up all of that liquid. It's popping up there. And what we need now is to give our beautiful chicken time to get a little suntan. So we need 20 minutes in the oven uncovered. All right, so we are looking really good now, guys. Check out the color on that chicken. It is so sticky and glossy and just pretty glorious in my book. And then that crunchy dark brown rice at the edge, that is my total favorite. Love that. All right, now we just want a few little extras here at the end to make things extra special. I'm gonna use some fried shallots. I always keep these in my pantry because they add texture and also like a good savory kind of flavor as well. And then just for a bit of like greenery, we're gonna add some fresh coriander. Now I know a lot of you are coriander haters. That's okay, don't at me in the comments, just leave it out. Or Thai basil's good as well, or Italian basil. All right, there you go guys. Sweet, sticky chicken chili jam tray bake. My goodness, that's a lot of ch sounds. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's amazing. Let's taste it though. Let me just make sure that it's amazing for you guys. So now I just want to serve that up. Let's get some chicken out onto a plate. Let's see. You know, for the minimal amount of effort we had to put into this, that tastes so good. I love it when everything's in the one tray. One tray to wash, one thing to put in the oven, one thing to worry about. And when you've got like 2 kids running around, or 1 2-year-old running around and 1 newborn crying very often, that is a very good thing. So good. These crispy bits of rice are really good too. Yum.